Happy Camper Radio starts in 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody, and welcome back once again to another edition of the Happy Camper Radio Show. The only place you need to be when you're ready to talk camping. Camping is what we're about. Camping is all we talk about. It's episode 153. Are you a primitive camper? Do you find yourself camping a lot during the summer months? If by chance you do, I don't know how you're tolerating all of this heat. It's unbearable. I don't know whereabouts you are in the country right now if you're listening to this show at this particular moment. But here in the Southeast, it's very difficult to spend time even out on the back patio with the dogs. I was just out there a little bit ago, and I just had to get back inside the air-conditioned house. Now, I know some of you may be saying, well, that's not camping. Well, hey, let me tell you something. Is it any wonder why I enjoy camping in the fall and wintertime months? But some of you enjoy summer camping, and that's fine. But if you do, and you're a primitive camper, do you by chance find yourself visiting the bathhouse more often than you normally would? And not just to use the facility, but to take a refreshing shower. But what if you're not staying at a private or public campground and you're roughing it? How do you stay refreshed? Do you bring a makeshift shower? Do you swim in the lake? What do you do to stay refreshed? It's Camp Showers on the program today here on Happy Camper Radio. Stick around. I've got a great program for you. I think you're going to enjoy it. You can get in touch with us here at the Happy Camper Radio Show anytime by calling 404-537-2267. That's 404-537-CAMP. If you have a camping question or you have a comment about the show, leave me a voicemail message. If the quality of your phone call is really good, I will have you on the program, and I will answer your camping question for you. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Happy Camper Radio, on Twitter at Camp Talker. You can find us also on Google Plus, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go to www.happycamperradio.com. You'll find all of our social media icons on the homepage. If you click on any one of them, you'll connect right up with us. And if you follow us on social media, we get to put you in the shout-out window. And I'm going to head on over there right now because we have a few folks that we want to take a moment to say hello to, starting with Seth Machen of Willow, Alaska, Giovanni Ramos of San Juan, Puerto Rico. They're following us on Facebook. We have Roger Whitfield, Carrie Lund Sauvel of Marquette, Iowa, Nora Hong of China, and our friends over at Quick RV Insurance in Cerritos, California. They're following us on Twitter this week. Thank you all so very much for joining us. Glad to have you on board, and more importantly, thank you for being a part of this great Happy Camper Radio family. Would you like to be a guest on the program? I'd love to have you. Have a camping question or a camping topic you want to talk about? Give me a shout right now. Skip, S-K-I-P, at happycamperradio.com. We'll make that happen. I would love to bring your phone call through our brand new Audio Arts Engineering Air 5 console, which I am still having a load of fun with. It's been a lot of fun here in the studio, not only doing the voiceover work, but also being on the program and being able to punch all these fancy little buttons and everything that I've got in front of me here. It's just like I'm a kid in a toy store, but I'm having a great time. The quality is great. Nothing but the best here at the Happy Camper Radio Show. All right, the camp showers. Let's talk about this here for a moment. Nothing beats going to bed at night if you're sleeping in a tent, or you feel waking up refreshed in the morning, nice and clean. Whatever style of camping you choose, a refreshing shower is an absolute must. One of the things I try to do anytime I am visiting a campground is number one, try to choose a location, choose a site that is close to the lake, because I love being by the lake. If it's a running stream, that's even better. But at the same time, I don't want to have to walk a long distance to get to the bathhouse. Now, some people bring these portable toilets and they put them inside their tent. That's okay, as long as you've got the privacy that you need. And I know a lot of people that do bring them to the campground because they don't like having to walk all these long distances. And as you get older, if you're a little on the lazy side like I have a tendency to be, sometimes you just get in the car and drive around, and when you're at the bathhouse, you're there. It's a little easier sometimes to drive than it is to walk. But one of the things I try to do, like I say, is, I try to make my site as convenient as possible to the amenities that I have available at the campground, in addition to my close proximity to the bathhouse, because I do want to get there, and I'm going to be there a couple times a day, and definitely to take a shower on a hot summer day like today. All right. But, whatever you do, being refreshed is so very important. You do not want to be sitting by the campfire after you've been out and about all day long, out in the hot sun, whether you're taking a hike or, just going on tours or visiting some of the sights and sounds in the area. You don't want to feel muggy. You don't want to feel hot when you sit down next to that campfire to wind down your day. You want to feel as refreshed as you possibly can. Now, showering at camp, let's talk about this for a moment. When you pack your gear and you head on out for a 2 or 3 day trip, maybe even a trip that's going to be taking you away from home a week or two, nothing wrong with that at all. But still, you're going to want to pack all of the essentials away, everything that you need, not only your change of clothes, but also the items that you are going to take to the bathhouse with you each and every day, how many times you visit the bathhouse, so you can shower, you can feel refreshed, and you can be well on your way to continuing the rest of your day or the rest of your evening or whatever you're going to do. Bringing along a bar of soap, a bottle of shampoo, some conditioner, all those things you need to go ahead and pack away. Don't forget these items. They're so very important. Every item you forget and you leave it at home is an item you're going to have to buy while you're out on the road. And that's going to take you away from the camping experience and take you away from all the fun. We know that when we go camping, we're also going to bring our own bath towel and washcloth. A pair of sandals or comfortable shoes are a must too, because even if you're traveling a short distance between your campsite to the bathhouse, you don't want to do that barefooted. Stepping over rocks, possible broken glass that's going to send you to the emergency room, that's definitely something you don't want to get into on a camping trip. So make sure that your feet are protected. Bring along a pair of comfortable sandals or comfortable shoes, whatever the case may be. Your hygiene kit's going to accompany you to the shower, the bathhouse. Remember this, folks, you're not staying at the Marriott Hotel. You're not staying at the Hilton or any other 5-star hotel. It's not one of these instances where you open your suitcase and you realize that you forgot a tube of toothpaste or a toothbrush or a razor or whatever the case may be, and you run down to the front desk for these complimentary items. You can't do that at a campground. You may have to run to the convenience store, and hopefully the campground will have one. But in worst case scenarios, you're going to have to get in the car and you're going to have to find a grocery store or a drugstore or something like that to go ahead and replenish these items you either forgot or ran out of. Taking inventory of these things, my friends, is very, very important long before you head out on a camping trip. You don't want to forget anything. I consider myself to be a very organized camper, and I hope you do too. Again, whatever you leave at home, you're going to have to do without, so preparation is the key to any successful camping trip. Let's say if you are traveling in an RV or motorhome, a lot of people do. I know when I park myself at a campground, I love to look around at other people's gear, at other people's rigs, and sometimes I just sit there in awe because they're so beautiful. And the way they're set up with the canopies that come out and the lawn chairs and everything that they have, it's all the comforts of home you're bringing to the campground. If that's the type of camping you enjoy, that's okay. Now, RVs do offer privacy, and they also allow you to shower wherever and whenever you want to. There's no reason to run to the bathhouse if you have an RV or a motorhome because you can shower right there. And if you've ever been to some of these camping and RV shows, and I know a lot of people go to these, we have quite a few of them that come to the Atlanta area. And anytime I get an opportunity, if I'm not too busy, I don't mind spending a few bucks and going over and just taking a look around, not only just to shake hands and meet some people and pass out some cards so that people can listen to the Happy Camper radio show, but I also like to take a look and see what's on the market in this day and age. So when you get to the campground, if you're using an RV or motorhome and you need to go take a shower, you can do that anytime you want. You've got the air conditioning, you've got the heat, and just in the event that you're wintertime camping, and some people do that. But that's, just a luxury that you have that comes with RV and motorhome camping. If you remember, and I talked about this several times on the show, I have a truck camper that I have not used in years, and I keep saying I'm going to work on it and get it fixed up and sell it and do that, and I may end up keeping it depending upon what I do to it. But that also has a shower in it. You would never think about that looking from the outside. The very first time that I stepped inside a truck camper, I had no earthly idea what to expect. Because on the outside, you're looking at what appears to be just a very small shell. And you can say, wow, what can they get in there? They've got a sink in there. They've got a stove, a queen-size bed, a kitchenette. They've got a refrigerator, freezer. They've got a small hot water heater on there. They've got a little closet, believe it or not, folks, that also contains not only a toilet, but a sink with hot and cold running water and a shower. For me, it was very difficult to take a shower in that truck camper because I am 6'4". I am a big guy, and it's like showering in a closet. For me, being out on the road and not being at a campsite that offers full hookups, if I needed to shower with the capacity of the holding tanks that are on that truck camper, I'm going to get roughly 2 hot showers before I have to take the truck camper to the dump station and dump all the tanks and refill them and what have you. So, it doesn't hold very much. And it's not like taking a shower at a bathhouse or even showering at home where you just get under the shower and run all that water to your heart's content. You can't do that in a truck camper. It's one of these situations where, for me, not being able to stand up in there, I had to sit down. And I just went ahead and rinsed off. I lathered up, got myself clean, rinsed off again, and out I came. Of course, by myself, I'm a lone camper, and I have everything is, I've got a lot of privacy inside there. But the point of the matter is, it's not the same as taking a shower at home. So you're going to have to be mindful of that anytime that you're in an RV or a motorhome. Even some of the larger ones, I'm not sure what the holding tanks they have on them, but I'm sure that the capacity is only, so much before you have to go ahead and dump all your tanks. But one of the things also you have to keep in mind, too, on this particular truck camper that I have, it also has a 6-gallon hot water heater. And it heats up pretty quick. It's powered by propane. And, that's going to run out, too. So it's not like you're having this 40 or 50-gallon water tank that you have at home. It's not the same thing. You've got to be mindful of your resources. But still, the bottom line is you can take a shower just about anywhere you want and anytime you need to, and you don't even have to leave your campsite to do that. So, you can enjoy a longer shower if you're staying at a campground and you're going to the bathhouse, and you just get yourself all refreshed as many times a day as you possibly need to. I know, like I said, with the temperatures being like they are, I would probably be spending a lot of time, maybe 2 to 3 showers a day. That's just how I am, because when I get out and about, if I start doing things, I'm going to sweat up a storm, and I'm going to feel uncomfortable. I don't like to feel uncomfortable when I'm sitting around at camp. I don't like being uncomfortable when I climb into the sleeping bag at the end of the night. And in some cases, and I remember some of the camping that I have done at previous summers when it was hot, there was no such thing as climbing in the sleeping bag. You laid on top of the sleeping bag. That's just the way it is, because the heat is unbearable. You don't have air conditioning like you do in an RV or a motorhome. You're roughing it. You're sleeping outside. Now, using the campground facilities, not all campgrounds are going to provide a clean and sanitary bathhouse like you will find in a five-star hotel. But for the most part, they are clean and sanitary because you have people who are looking after them constantly 24 hours a day. They never lock these up because you never know in the middle of the night when somebody is going to need to use the facility. So chances are there's going to be somebody assigned to the task of cleaning these bathhouses and making sure they are properly stocked with all the supplies everybody needs. That is one thing a campground operator does not need is bad reviews because of a unsanitary or not well taken care of bathhouse. All the campgrounds I have ever been to, I am pleased to say that I have had a great experience. I found the bathhouses to be extremely clean and never had a problem going to use them for the showers or other purposes. Again, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you're going to find, depending upon the size of the campground, you may have multiple bathhouses. I find that they strategically place them in different areas of the campground, so wherever you're camping, you really don't have that far to go. But if I have to walk maybe 4 or 5 minutes to get to the bathhouse, that's a long distance. Especially if, you need to use the facility of the call of nature and you don't have a portable toilet right there at your campground, at your campsite, then yeah, you're going to have to rough it to get to the bathhouse. They're great for showering anytime you feel the need. They do provide multiple shower stalls with hot and cold water. And each and every time I have showered in a bathhouse, I've always had a great experience. Always met some nice people at the bathhouse too. Yeah, I get up here in the morning and get cleaned up and shave and do what have you. You never know where you're going to run into somebody. It's not necessarily going to be at the neighboring campsite. You just might run into somebody at the bathhouse. So, they offer guests quite adequate privacy too. And if you ever run into a situation where you go into a bathhouse to shower or whatever, and you come to find out things are not up to par, things are not looking like they should, that is something you want to alert your campground host to immediately so they can get on it. They don't live in those facilities 24 hours a day. So, they're going to rely upon people like yourself, good campers, to alert them to anything that needs attention in those bathhouses. Take the time to do that. Don't immediately run and give the place a bad review because you saw something out of order at the bathhouse. Bring that to the attention of the campground host. And, it's something that I think that they would expect you to do anyway. Now, let's talk a little bit about safety. If you're a parent and you have small children, of course, safety is always going to be a concern. You're a good parent, so you're going to be the eyes and ears of your child everywhere they are, whether it be the bathhouse, down at the lake, when you're out on a hike somewhere or taking a tour. Your kids are going to be by your side, and you really can never let them out of your eyesight for even a moment. Campgrounds should be considered a safe environment for everyone. I consider them safe because a lot of the nice people in the world you're going to meet at a campground. Good, round, down-to-earth people just like you and me. But still, at the same time, parents should always accompany young children to the bathhouse, whether it's the call of nature or it comes time to shower or whatever. You always want to be there with your kids. I'm not saying that there's anything suspicious going on. I don't think you're ever going to find that. But if you do, if something doesn't feel right, you have that feeling sometimes, and it may not be anything, but it's parental instinct. If you just don't feel right about something, you need to contact your campground host or, depending upon what it is, even your local police. But, always keep an eye on your kids. Be with them. Be by their side. It's so very important in this day and age, folks. Now, primitive camping, this is going to be showering where there are no showers. If you like to rough it, if you like being out there in the wilderness, primitive camping offers great challenges. Sometimes there is little or no water for showers, and some people may end up bathing in a lake or stream. I've done that too. You want to avoid this if at all possible. And sometimes that's just not the case. Unless you're camping miles from civilization, you want to try camping close to water. Water and from lakes and streams should never be used for consumption. I think you know that. But in some cases, in emergency situations, you may have to boil that water to make it safe. I never drink out of a stream or a lake. Anytime I'm camping, I truck in lots of potable water. I have a lot of tanks. I've got those collapsible ones. I got the big plastic jugs. I always have room for water anytime I go camping, and bringing in that fresh water is so very important, especially for consumption purposes. Now, use biodegradable products anytime you're showering outdoors. Biodegradable soap. You can find products like this at your camping supply store. It's good for the environment, and anytime you're camping, like I say, the only thing you want to leave behind is footprints. That's the only thing you should be doing if you are primitive camping and you are out and about and you're away from a public or private campground and you just like to camp. Maybe somebody dropped you off up in the mountains, is going to pick you up in about a week. You're not going to be carrying all the luxuries with you, but you're going to be carrying the things to get you by. And even carrying the food can be, a weight on your back. So, sometimes when you're camping and you're out and about and you're in the environment, you're going to have to consider how you are going to make yourself refreshed. How are you going to bathe? How are you going to take care of yourself? The last thing you want to do is go camping somewhere and come back a week later smelling awful because you never were able to get close to water to get yourself refreshed. Some people bring portable shower stalls. Have you ever seen those? Those things are so neat. I know the guys I camp with up in Hiawassee, they've got a couple of them up there that they bring. And of course, we're by a stream. We're by a mountain stream. So there's always going to be available water anytime that we want to take a shower. It's just a matter of filling up the jugs and bringing them up to camp, which is, only a couple dozen steps away. But it's a little bit of an inconvenience. But we have our showering facilities right there anytime that we take a shower. You can buy them online or you can buy them in the store. They're compact, they're easy to assemble, and they do not include, however, the hardware, the showering components that you will need. That's something you're going to have to buy separately. What this is a little small tent, and it can be used not only for privacy when you have a portable toilet you can put in there. You can take that out when the time comes if you want to take a shower, but it offers you the privacy you need when you're camping. I don't have one. Like I said, I have always used somebody else's, but still, for the most part, I bring a lot of things to camp that's going to get me by. There are sometimes people, like I say, depending upon the time of year, will work their way down to the stream and take a sponge bath. Some people do that. I know in the wintertime, that's not something we will do because we try to stay as warm as we possibly can. Of course, we go up there in November, and we oftentimes have some pretty decent temperatures. About 20 years ago when I was up there, it was well below freezing, and we did everything we possibly could to stay warm, including keeping that campfire going round the clock. There's always some folks up and about all hours of the day or night when we go camping. We have a lot of fun up there. We have a lot of great fellowship. But, you can also build a makeshift stall using canvas tarps. I have seen this done before, too, depending upon your situation. When I'm camping at a private or a public campground, I don't ever recall in all the years I have been camping to find a portable shower stall set up at a campsite. People don't bring them in because they use the bathhouses while they're camping there. But, it wouldn't surprise me that one of these days I do find a private facility right there at a campsite where somebody has set up a portable shower stall so they don't have to make those necessary runs to the bathhouse. Whatever works for you, as long as you're camping, as long as you're comfortable, as long as you're having a great time, that's all that matters. Have you ever seen these, what they call solar bags? They're made of heavy-duty plastic. You fill them up with water. They come complete with a hose and a shower head. You hang them from a nearby tree or post, and you set your shower stall up around that. And the water is heated from the direct sunlight that hits this plastic bag. They don't cost a whole lot of money. I've never used one before. I've seen them. But here's the problem with those folks. Chances are when you get that bag filled with water, it's going to become heavy. and you've got to lift it up. You've got to get it above your head because that's where the water's going to be coming out from. So it's going to be a little bit of an inconvenience for you to go ahead and get that done. And here's the problem also, if you have no sunlight, you're going to be taking a shower with either cold or lukewarm water. Your water supply is going to be limited, just like I told you when I was camping in a camper. Yeah, you can only use so much water before you're going to run out and you have to replenish. They have these gas-powered units also. They're battery-operated, pumps water from a standing container, maybe a 5-gallon bucket, or if you want to bring along a 40 or 50-gallon barrel, you can do that too. But the matter is, you're still going to have to truck water up into your campsite to get that done. You can also get innovative and pump water directly from the lake or the stream. Of course, this is going to require additional equipment and resources. How far are you going to go? How far do you want to go? How much are you willing to spend? That's the key right there. With one of these systems, and I've seen them online too, you attach a propane tank and the water is heated on demand. You're not going to get the extreme hot shower that you will at home, but your water is going to be warm, it's going to be comfortable, and you're going to feel refreshed. The water temperature, of course, is regulated depending upon the features. The cost of these things vary. I've seen them anywhere from $160 all the way up to $350. So yeah, they can get a little on the expensive side. The bottom line here, folks, is when you go camping, you want to have the most exciting experience you possibly can. You want to make sure your camping trip is just as exciting or more than the last trip you ever went on. But in order to do that, in order to have a great experience, you've got to keep yourself refreshed. And if you're camping this time of the year, out in the summer, that is so very important. Staying refreshed, staying cool, keeping it the very best it possibly can do anytime you go camping. It's time now for our featured campground of the week here on the Happy Camper Radio Show. Yep. This week, I'm going to take you out to the state of Indiana to the Indian Salina Lake Campground. Folks, this is a beautiful campground. If you're looking for a wonderful place, a wonderful lake, if you enjoy the temperatures and you can tolerate them this time of the year, the Indian Salina Lake Campground is for you. It's open all the way through Saturday, October the 15th of this year, and you can make your reservations right online by visiting recreation.gov. And we're going to have a link to it on our homepage at Happy Camper Radio all week long. So definitely check it out. The Indian Salina Lake Recreation Area is a tranquil getaway in the midst of the Hoosier National Forest. It offers a lot of great things. The area is located in south central Indiana in a dense hardwood and pine forest on 152-acre Indian and 164-acre Salina lakes. A variety of wildlife makes its home in the area, and if you're a wildlife viewer just like me, you're going to enjoy camping at this particular campground. The facility offers dozens of individual campsites divided into 2 loops. The campgrounds are available for tent and RV camping. Utility hookups are available in some of the sites, and the parking surfaces are paved. Check out a list of their activities and amenities on their website. Plenty of them there, including some of the know before you go items. Make sure you take very careful note of that because there are some do's and don'ts at these different campgrounds, and you want to make sure that you are familiar with them so when you get there you don't run into any surprises. And just as important, folks, don't move firewood. Don't bring your firewood from another area into this area here because those pesky little insects can spread. They can wreak havoc on the forest, and you don't want that. For more information, visit don'tmovefirewood.org or click on the link on our website at happycamperradio.com. If you're looking for a great place to go camping, this is it, this time of the year, or anywhere between now and October 15th. Make your reservation online. Take the time to visit Indian Salina Lake in Indiana. It's our featured campground of the week here on the Happy Camper Radio Show. And, of course, if you have a campground that you would like for us to feature on the program, by all means, get in touch with me, Skip, S-K-I-P, at happycamperradio.com. Make sure you include a link to the campground website. Well, folks, that's about all the time I have for today's show. As always, it's a pleasure talking up camping anytime we get together. And I think I'm pretty good about that. It's a part of my life that I enjoy, have always enjoyed, And camping, like it has you, has made me a better person. Remember, my friends, every pet deserves a loving home. I want you to do exactly like I did. Visit your local shelter and adopt a pet today. You can find us online anytime at www.happycamperradio.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at Camp Talker, add us to Circles on Google+, and of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel. The Happy Camper Radio Show is a presentation of Skip Huber Productions. I'm Skip, I am a happy camper, and no question about it, my friends, I'm going to do my very best to make a happy camper out of you. Talk to you again real soon. Have a great one, everybody. You're listening to Happy Camper Radio.